Hey guys, Huck Sports Talk here. Hope everybody's having a blessed day. Well guys, today I want to talk about actually my last video. In my last video, I asked the question, are you seeing these trends at sports card shows? And those trends being most of the tables being unpriced, that none of the cards are priced at tables, and that's one of the main ones that I had a lot of comments on my channel of this last video. So what I want to do today, I want to read some of these comments that some people said, because a lot of people are the same as me and think that that cards at your table as a dealer, that you should price your cards. So here I want to just read some of the comments from that last video. One comment was, dealer's time is valuable and buyer's time is not. That is the message that I get when I see a table full of unpriced cards. And I can see why he says that, because you're not pricing your cards at home and everything. You're coming to a show and they're unpriced, and then when somebody asks you for the what's the price of the card, a lot of times the dealers start looking it up on their phone, and they're gonna go by the last highest price, not the last price on there, but the last highest price. It happens all the time, because then me as a buyer, I have to look that up, and then I'm like, well man, 3 of them sold since then for a lower price, so a lot of people are kind of getting irritated about that. Here's another comment right here. If they aren't priced, undoubtedly they'll want too much for the card once they look it up. And that's what I was just saying. Somebody looks that card up and they see one, it says $180 like a month ago. Well, they'll say, well, I want $180, where 5 days ago things sold for like $130. So that happens all the time. More comments here. Roy from Tennessee said, we set up at local shows frequently as a family. Everything is priced at our table clearly. So Roy, he does it right, and he doesn't lose out on sales because his stuff isn't priced. I couldn't believe all the comments. Like I said, there was probably at least 50 comments on there, and almost all of them, there was a couple that said they don't care if it's priced or not priced, but the majority wanted their cards priced. Here's another one that says, I tend to walk by tables with no prices. So they just walk by it. If they see it and there's no prices, they walk by it. Now I don't do that. If I walk up to a table, there's no prices, and I'm wanting to buy like bulk from a table, I'll ask them like how much a price is for like one card or something like that, this certain card. And if they can't tell me a price right off the bat, if they have to start looking it up, like this is what happened to me at the last card show. I asked the person, well, how much do you want for this card? They said, well, I need to look it up. And I'm like, well, what if I buy 100 cards? You're going to have to look all 100 cards up? And they're like, well, probably. And so, my time is valuable to me. I can't sit there and wait the whole time for him to look up 100 cards. So that's what I'm saying. They should be, clearly, if they're in boxes, they should be marked to, do a $1 box, or if that's, $5 box or whatever like that. And here's some more comments. It's all about the comps. Gotta have the last sell. It's annoying way to buy. So I just stopped. So yeah, I hate that they just stopped buying, but yeah, I can understand that. I don't usually bother with dealers who don't price their cards. I mean, that's just a common theme of all these comments from my last video. And I'll try to put that video in the description so you could click on it if you haven't seen that video, and you could read the comments on there yourself. It's hard to believe how many comments there were on those. I ignore any table with no prices visible. My time is too valuable to want. Oh, I'm sorry. My time is too valuable to wait around for you to look up and overinflate eBay comps. So, I mean, that's a general theme to all these comments. is when you start looking them up, they know you're going to try to say the highest price one on there too. And then so let's see. Then the last comment right here. Here's another trend too that I'd mentioned about card shows and stuff like that. How there's so much Pokemon now. Like the card show that I just went to, I mean, it was probably more Pokemon than it was sports cards, honestly. And so here's a comment about that. The latest trend is too much Pokemon. Look, those nerds can have their own show, and us sports card nerds can have our own shows. We're not the same nerds as them. So that was kind of a funny comment there, but I do kind of agree with him. I wish that, some of the shows, it doesn't have to be all of them, but, wish some of the shows were just sports card shows, and then they did their own, Pokemon shows and everything. So, but guys, that's just some of the comments, and I was surprised at how good the feedback was on that question and everything. That if you saw the same trends as I did, but definitely the customers coming to the card shows are trying to tell the dealers, hey, price your cards before they get there. I mean, honestly, I know that the dealers, sometimes they say, well, prices change so much. Okay, I understand that. That does happen more to modern cards, but it really doesn't happen to the vintage cards. So if a vintage table doesn't have prices on there, I mean, that's a big red flag, because there should be prices on vintage tables for sure, because those prices don't change that much in vintage cards. They may go up a little bit, but it's over time and everything like that, and you got plenty of time to adjust to that. Well, guys, like I said, I'm gonna put that last video down in the comments. If you didn't see that one, go back and check that one out, and just check all those comments on there. But yeah, dealers, customers want prices on the cards so they know when they walk up and see them. That's what the big takeaway that I got from my last video. So, but guys, I appreciate you watching today. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I ask that you do so. But next time, we'll see you guys later.